Section 1. Europe's fateful choice. A vote for the future. The year is 2024. The air is thick with anticipation and the streets are alive with the buzz of political discourse. All eyes are on Europe. Not for a football match, but for a contest with far greater stakes, the European Parliament elections. This is a pivotal moment, a turning point that will shape the trajectory of the continent for years to come. This isn't just another election. It's about the soul of Europe. It's about the future of the European project. It's about the kind of continent we want to be in a world on the brink. The choices made now will echo through history, influencing not just policy, but the very identity of Europe. The European Union, often seen as a bureaucratic behemoth, faces a crossroads. Its critics argue that it is out of touch with the everyday lives of its citizens, while its supporters see it as a beacon of unity and progress in an increasingly fragmented world. The 2024 elections will determine its direction for the next 5 years and beyond. Will the EU embrace reform and innovation, or will it cling to the status quo? The outcome will set the tone for how Europe addresses its most pressing challenges. Will it be a Europe of unity and solidarity, or a fragmented continent grappling with internal divisions? The rise of populism and nationalism has tested the bonds that hold the EU together, making this election a critical juncture. The answer lies in the hands of over 400 million eligible voters across 27 member states. Each vote is a voice in the chorus of democracy, a testament to the power of collective decision-making. These elections are a stark reminder that democracy is not a spectator sport. It requires active participation, informed choices, and a shared commitment to the common good. Voter turnout will be a key indicator of the public's engagement and trust in the democratic process. The decisions made in Brussels, Strasbourg, and beyond have a direct impact on the lives of every European citizen. From the quality of the air we breathe to the safety of our borders, the European Parliament's influence is far-reaching. From climate change and economic policy to migration and security, the European Parliament plays a crucial role in shaping the continent's destiny. Its policies can drive innovation, foster economic growth, and ensure social justice. This is not the time for apathy or indifference. The stakes are too high, the challenges too great. The future of Europe depends on the active engagement of its citizens, on their willingness to stand up and be counted. The 2024 European elections are a call to action, a summons to engage in the great debates of our time, and a chance to shape the future of Europe. The choice is ours. Will we rise to the occasion, or will we let this moment slip through our fingers? The future is unwritten, and it is up to us to pen the next chapter in the story of Europe. Section 2. The Ballot and the Behemoth, Navigating the EU Elections. The European Parliament, often misunderstood and underestimated, stands as a beacon of democracy on the global stage. It is the only directly elected institution of the European Union, representing the voice of its citizens. But how does this complex electoral process actually work? Every 5 years, citizens from across the EU cast their votes for members of the European Parliament, or MEPs. These 705 MEPs represent not national interests, but rather European political groups. These groups, spanning the ideological spectrum, are coalitions of national parties united by shared values and policy goals. The allocation of seats in the Parliament is roughly proportional to the population of each member state. This means that larger countries like Germany and France have more MEPs than smaller ones like Malta or Estonia. However, the system is designed to ensure fair representation for all citizens, regardless of their country of origin. The elections are conducted using a variety of electoral systems, with proportional representation being the most common. This means that the number of seats a party wins is generally reflective of the share of the vote it receives. This system promotes diversity and ensures that a wide range of voices are heard in the European Parliament. Section 3. Familiar faces, new anxieties, leading parties and concerns. As the campaign trail heats up, familiar faces emerge, vying for the hearts and minds of European voters. The European People's Party, or EPP, a centre-right group, has long dominated the Parliament. They champion a vision of a strong and united Europe, with a focus on economic growth and traditional values. On the center-left, the Progressive Alliance of Socialists and Democrats, or S&D, present a progressive alternative. They advocate for social justice, workers' rights, and a more inclusive Europe. The liberal Renew Europe group, led by the likes of Emmanuel Macron, seeks to reform the EU from within, promoting a more agile and competitive union. However, the political landscape is shifting. New anxieties grip the continent, reshaping the electoral battleground. The cost of living crisis, fueled by soaring energy prices and inflation, has left many Europeans struggling to make ends meet. This has fueled a sense of economic insecurity and discontent, creating fertile ground for populist and nationalist parties. Climate change, once a distant threat, has become an urgent reality. Extreme weather events, from devastating floods to scorching heat waves, have brought the issue to the forefront of public consciousness. Young people, in particular, are demanding action, pushing climate change to the top of the political agenda. Section 4. The Green Surge. Can they turn the tide? Amidst the political turbulence, a green wave is sweeping across Europe. Green parties, once relegated to the fringes of the political spectrum, have experienced a surge in popularity. Their message of environmental responsibility, social justice, and sustainable development resonates with a growing number of voters, particularly among the younger generation. Driven by a sense of urgency and a desire for change, young people are mobilizing in unprecedented numbers. They are acutely aware that the decisions made today will determine the world they inherit tomorrow. Climate change for them is not an abstract concept, but a lived reality with tangible consequences. The Greens' rise is not merely a generational phenomenon, it reflects a broader shift in values and priorities. Across Europe, citizens are increasingly concerned about the state of the planet and the impact of human activity on the environment. The devastating effects of climate change, from extreme weather events to biodiversity loss, are no longer distant threats but present realities. The green surge represents both a challenge and an opportunity. It challenges the established political order, forcing traditional parties to confront the urgency of the climate crisis and rethink their policy platforms. It also presents an opportunity to build a more sustainable and equitable future, one that prioritizes the well-being of both people and the planet. Section 5. Macron's moment, a kingmaker or a bystander. Emmanuel Macron, the enigmatic French president, finds himself at a pivotal juncture. Having secured a second term in office, he now seeks to extend his influence beyond France's borders. His ambition to reshape the European Union in his image, promoting a more integrated and assertive bloc on the world stage. Macron's vision for Europe is one of strategic autonomy, a Europe that is less reliant on the United States and more capable of defending its own interests. He has called for a stronger European defense capability, greater economic sovereignty, and a more united front on foreign policy issues. However, Macron's ambitions face significant hurdles. His reformist zeal often clashes with the entrenched interests of other member states. His push for deeper integration is met with resistance from those wary of surrendering national sovereignty. And his vision of a more assertive Europe on the world stage is complicated by the ongoing war in Ukraine and the resurgence of geopolitical tensions. The 2024 European elections will be a litmus test for Macron's European project. The performance of his Renew Europe group will be closely watched as an indicator of his ability to build a broad coalition for change.